Kawasaki had a point to prove with the GPz900R, having been beaten to the punch by Honda in releasing the world's first four-cylinder 750cc superbike, the CB750. They needed to raise the bar with the successor to their own popular 900cc superbike, the iconic Kawasaki Z1. Spending several years in secret creating the perfect successor, Kawasaki finally unveiled the GPz900R, the bike they had pinned their hopes on, and a significant financial investment as well. In 1983, Kawasaki pulled the covers off the first bike to bear the Ninja name and began a legacy that continues to this day. The result of a 5-year-long top-secret R&D project, the GPz900R was Kawasaki's successor to the popular Z1. Successor it may have been, but the development Kawasaki had plowed into the GPz900R made it a completely different machine. The technical advances the GPz900R had over its predecessor and other competition at the time included the world's first 16-valve liquid-cooled 4-cylinder motorcycle engine which, alongside a significant power boost, became a stressed member, meaning the engine and chassis worked as a centralized mass unit. This greatly reduced the weight, improving the handling, acceleration, braking and top speed. Despite not being an original idea, racing teams had been using this practice for some time. Kawasaki were the first to utilize the design on a mass-produced road machine. The 908cc engine produced 115 bhp which, along with its lower weight, allowed it to reach 151 miles per hour, making it the fastest production bike at the time and first ever to exceed 150 miles per hour. Drag racing specialist J.P. Wee Gleason also recorded a quarter-mile time of 10:55 seconds, nearly 2 seconds quicker than predecessor the Z1. The GPZ900R, a larger capacity air-cooled bike in the same family as the new Ninja, transferred several features to the design of GPZ900R. Its uni-track suspension and 6-spoke wheels along with the styling was partially carried over to help maintain a family lineage. The engine and downpipes remained visible on the GPZ900R but were painted and plated in black to draw the viewer's eye to the bike as a single entity rather than parts bolted together. The uni-track suspension adopted from the GPZ1100 combined with a crankshaft counterbalancer made the GPX900R smooth and comfortable to ride in cities with minimal vibrations. Long-distance riding was also an option with the aerodynamic fairings and touring riding position. Kawasaki were continually developing and bringing out new models during this era in an effort to be at the top with their sport bikes. This meant that the GPZ900R was quickly succeeded by the GPZ1000RX in 1986. Despite the new RX taking the flagship title, Kawasaki continued to manufacture and update the GPZ900R. Changes to the forks, wheels, brakes and airbox were applied to the bike until it was finally discontinued in Europe in 1993, America in 1996 and its home country of Japan much later in 2003, 2 decades after it was first released. 3 months after being unveiled to the press in December 1983, 3 Works GPZ900R bikes were entered into the Isle of Man production TT, finishing in first and second place. When it hit the showrooms later in 1984, the GPZ900R quickly became the topic of discussion in the motorcycling world. The original Ninja would become Bike of the Year for several publications that year, and held the title of fastest production bike in the world with a top speed of 151 miles per hour. What really brought the Ninja to the public eye and helped it achieve cultural icon status was the 1986 movie Top Gun, in which the GPZ900R featured. The GPZ900R had a few flaws over its lifetime, so if you are looking to purchase one of the original Ninjas, there are few things to look out for. The deterioration on the black chrome exhaust is the first port of call. These are no longer manufactured and a professional repair job is pricey if you want the job done well. Avoid any that you're not happy with the finish on. Overheating was a common issue in hot weather or heavy work in and around cities. A common fix many owners installed was a manual fan switch to help overcome this. The starter clutch deteriorating is another common flaw with the GPz900R, preventing the bike from starting. If you come across this in your search, walk away, unless you're willing to dismantle the engine to access the sprag clutch which lives deep within. The 1984 and 1985 models earned a reputation for pitting cams. Kawasaki fixed this by fitting wider diameter oil pipes but never recalled the earlier models. Something to be aware of if you were looking at either of the earlier models. A 16-inch front wheel was present on the GPz900R until 1990, when it was replaced with the standard 17-inch front wheel. Some owners of the earlier models changed for the new size when it was released.